putting together clues and stuff like that from the world. Oh my god, this is just like the super coolest way to play a game like Dishonored. That feels so good figuring that out on my own. I'm not gonna get anywhere near that. It's gonna drain my HP. And I don't have a lot of that to go around right now. I'm not gonna pull the lever. I'm just looking for more lootables. So each of his stations has something to work with. Pandician Continent 3, we already looked at that book. Bloodfly Husk, only worth 5 coins. Alright then. And what's through here? Oh! It's the elevator. Of course. Sticky grenade. I'm not sure if you heard my cell phone go off, but that was mine. Don't worry, it wasn't yours. Oh, look, a hatch. What in the... Oh, beautiful. Oh, what a beautiful day. After all we've been through in there. So an exit, but to what point and purpose? Well, not gonna worry about it right now. Wait, was this potentially another way in? I've been on that roof a number of times, haven't I? I think. Could you possibly get down, sneak in through here? Ooh, interesting. Well, we're not going to leave that open and arouse any suspicion that way. The elevator has its thing. I think we're going to get up through the elevator so as not to disturb... Oh, there's some Tivian ore. So as not to disturb the current power configuration. Up to the next part. And further still. There we go. Now, Mr. Jindosh. Mr. Kirin Jindosh. If that is your real name, which it is. Ah, look at that. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Hey,
an age of advancement.
Too late. You're losing your intellect. We've wiped your brain.
People like you can't be allowed to run amok.
Cool.
And if I combine the acid against a copper plate, what does it do?
What's the matter, Kirin? You losing it all now?
I knew that a moment ago. Does anyone know the answer?
You don't seem to be in any pain anymore. What's up with your hand?
I had an idea, but it's gone now.
And you'll never get it back, will you?
I'm very much afraid of what's happened.
I bet you are. You know, dear viewers, we were talking earlier about how his greatest fear is being forgotten.
You can't have put me through that machine, but wait, what does it do?
His memories flee from him as he seeks them.
Kill me.
All is shifting
Make me
into melee.
Wow, he wants to die now because he's...
something glory you. Something big is gone and I can't name it.
I almost I almost can't stand to see him like that. This is awful.
Hello? I believe I've lost something very precious.
Listen.
Please help me find it.
Oh, I think this will stand to make him a better person.
The other students will laugh at me now.
Listen, Kieran, it's time to let go of all of that. You're on a better path now.
Maybe there'll be apple pudding at dinner. I would like that.
Yes. Your intellect is gone. But I think now... That's it? That's all you have to say? I think now you have a golden opportunity to make a better life for yourself. One where you really will be remembered, at least by those around you. In a positive way, not in an infamous one. You're no longer a genius. But maybe all that's left when your genius is gone is a good person. That's the hope, at least. Anyway, it's time to get out of here. We've done what we had to do. Let's get Sokolov back to the dreadful whale. He's been asleep in that carriage too long. Man, that was cool to deal with. Look at all these silver graphs. I think I broke every clockwork machine. He tracked me. He tracked all of my movements throughout this whole place. Arrogantly. Assuming he would win our engagement. Ah. Forgive me, dear viewers, as I take a victory lap. And also sort of just... Ugh. Like I said, you know what's interesting about Jindosh and the reason I feel so connected to this place and why his fate hits me on such a personal level? It's like I said, it's because I can relate to him a lot. A younger version of me could, anyway. But, man, I'm here at 39 years of age, and I've spent a couple of years of my life right now trying to improve, well, recently trying to improve myself over this past couple of years. And by looking at myself objectively and by asking others and looking through their eyes at me, I've learned so much about how I'm not the man that I want to be. But it's also... I've also spent a lot of time meditating and deciding the kind of man that I want to be. It almost feels like if I continued on that path that I was on before, that... I don't want to say delusional, because I wasn't delusional, but that ignorant path, that path where I wasn't really looking at myself, where I didn't have self-awareness. If I would have stayed on that path, I feel like I was on a path very much like Jindosh's that could lead to ruin just like his. Not necessarily death, of course. Not everything is life and death in life, right? But just like him, losing something precious. I feel like by choosing to work on myself, if I've done it in enough time, if I've done it soon enough, because I'm not even 40 yet, right? There's still at least half of my life to go if things go in my favor. I feel like I may have dodged a potential bullet there. I'll continue working on myself, but man. I have to go. This place is too personal for me. Fun, though. Later, Jindosh. Let's pour my second cup of coffee for the day. Ooh, that's hot. Blah. Hello, Karnaka. Dunwall, you are not. Oh, I can choose to go to either one. We're going to the lower district? Is that where I wanted to be? Where's the boat? Where's Megan Foster lurking around? Answer me, Sokolov. I asked you a question. Sorry. That joke was in bad taste. I don't often have people to talk to in these carriage rides, though, okay? You gotta give me a second. You gotta give it to me. I gotta... That was a shorter ride than I thought. Are we in the right spot? This is the station. Yes, and then we take him back to the sewers-ish. Wait, did I hear guards? Those civilians or are those guards? I can do this.
You are a nuisance to the city. Didn't anybody tell you?
What? Those sound like witches.
It's Delilah. It's very specific. Very specific.
Wow, look at you go. You alone? Whoop. Whoop. Come along. You probably have more witches stationed up here, don't you? Ooh, a health potion. Feels good, man. Alright, let's get a look at these witches and see what they wear so we can readily identify them from a distance and know when we're going to be attacked. Just witch, just straight up witch is her name. Chains, jewels. They look very vampire, so we're good with that. I'll keep that in mind. It's a good idea to note what the Dunwall City Watch uniforms look like, what Abbey of the Everyman Overseers look like, what civilians look like, Hatters, Bottle Street Gang, Brigmore Witches, Standard Witches, Royal Guard. It's a good idea to get a feel for what all of their uniforms and stuff look like so you know what you're looking at a distance. Anyway, I don't want to step on the electrified rails, I guess. Anyone else? Heard something over there, but... There's one. Five mana potions. That's what I was checking on. I need her to turn and look somewhere else because I don't have a great way out of here if she doesn't. Good enough. What the? Did not expect that.
How did you do that?
They are unpredictable, and this is getting crazy scary.
Let him escape. You don't deserve the gift of magic. Come back here.
Do you deserve the gift of magic? That's the question.
He has to be close.
Ha! I am close. Right here, in fact. Give me this. Anyone else? Alright, let's get Sokolov out of here. Sokolov, you slept through a lot, my friend. Then again, you were basically electroshocked, like, to your brain, like, every day for, like, a long time, so... I'll try not to be insensitive about that. Should I stop by the black market before I leave? I have some extra coins. Especially after visiting that painting. You know what? I think I will stop by the black market before I leave. Start the next mission with some tools. Let's drop him off first. I only assume it's down here. This is where we started everything. Wow, this was an exceptionally fun mission. This had it all. The Clockwork Soldiers introduced... Dogs barking in the sewers? The Clockwork Soldiers introduced a way for me to get some, like, real combat in. Swords swinging, bombs flying, guns firing, that kind of thing. Crossbow bolts. It gave me sticky grenades. It gave me an opportunity to really fight without increasing chaos at all. I loved breaking those things. Hey, target rescued. Well, we'll count that then. Return to the Dreadful Whale. Where is the boat? We have a spotlight shining this way. Perhaps an indicator. Oh, there it is. Did I just not see that a second ago? Megan, looking lovely as ever. Here you go. Let's just, I know I could do better than that, but just give it a second. Whew. Oh, don't touch that. Wish I could give him more coin, too. I want that beggar who worked in the... What the... Civilians? Wait, this is Paolo.
Who do we have here? What's the mask for?
Walk on. You won't like how this ends.
Oh, that's not how it ends? How does it end then? With an old man giving me advice in my own damn city, then being force-fed his ugly mask? Because that sounds like something I'd like a lot.
Ha!
Better take off. Paolo's in a bad mood.
Just because I think you have a story to tell and I want to see that story.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
What?
Let's see what you got.
I bet you in there.
Ah.
How did you do that?
How did I do that? Pop! Did he just turn into a bunch of white rats? Yo, that's pretty fucking crazy. You know... Goomba Stomp!
Time to die.
I'll crush it, you parasite.
Whoa. I was gonna leave them with the rats.
Think
This
you
won't
look
take
tough?
a- Wait, this
Hiding
isn't-
your face?
You shouldn't have one. Out. Holy shit.
Ow.
Take it.
Is this how Paolo's trained you?
Aim at the head. I want to keep these nights closed for someone.
Shut up. Nah, I'm not done with you, tough girl. Get up. Hmm? Come on. There's only one of you here right now. Ow, there you are. Oh, you shot him in the back! Ow. Ow.
Finally know
Alright, well, I guess I toyed with them a little too much. Honestly, dying there was probably good because I get my potions back. Oh. Ha! Nice. You know what, we're gonna leave him there. Where are the witches? Are they still out there? They are.
What?
Come with me, lady. Come on up. We know. Nope. You thought you were gonna run up there, but you couldn't.
I can't wait for the month minutes. Fresh picked is so much better.
Whoa. This allows me to be the aggressor. Still up here?
Look around.
Still up here. Clink! Oh, all right.
So you're marked? I need to cut off your hand then.
I am marked.
Now isn't this a surprise? A touch of the outsider.
Oh. I like how intrigued you are by my mark.
You should have stayed in your boring little world. That's a trick I could use.
You do use it. I just copied it from you. That's a trick you could use.
You don't deserve the gift.
Wow, you just...
Interesting. How did you do that?
Like this. Anyway, not sure what to make of Paolo. Am I supposed to kill him? Is he a big player? Do we hear more from him later if I don't kill him? That's the only reason I didn't outright kill that bastard after talking to me the way he did. It's because I think he could be interesting later. Although, actually, killing him turns him into a bleep 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 of rats. He's marked! Or he's got the blessing from someone. He's not marked. The outsider wouldn't mark someone like Paolo. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So I assume if you followed them after they shook down the black market shopkeep, you would follow them to that back alley, that would ensue, and then you'd have to kill them. You would find out that he blah blah blahs into rats, and that would be the end of it. You'd be like, what the fuck? So Paolo has something to say, has a part to play no matter what. We'll just leave him for now.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I think fighting him would also probably get you in trouble a little. 3 new upgrades available. Stinging Bolt causes an... Oh, cool. We can buy those now. Howling Bolt blinds enemies. Magnetized Bullet briefly disrupts clockwork soldiers. Interesting. Don't care too much about most of that, though. Crossbow Bolts. I have 3,500. We'll buy like 4 of those. Don't need more Incendiary Bolts.
A deal well made.
Do need more Sleep Darts. Grenades are always good. Addermire Solution. Make that up to 7. Oh yeah, we'll buy like a lot of these. Fuck it, grab the rune. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, that feels good. That's appropriate. Let's go to upgrades.
Let's see. I have some upgrade plans for your gear.
Let's buy... Howling Bolt. Enables black market shops to sell bolts that stun and blind enemies for a time. Let's grab those.
I shouldn't deal with strangers.
You run a black market shop! Bye. Now we will... Oh my goodness, I made such a mess of this whole stage, and I am so delighted by that. So, we have witches from the Oracular Order now coming after us. Bloop, give me that. Cool, glad I kept room for it. Alright, Anton, my friend, let's actually get you out of here. Little expediency never hurt anybody. Let's go, Megan.
You did it. How is he?
Frail and wounded, but he'll recover.
I didn't think it was possible. You must have a story to tell. I'll hear it back at the ship.
All right.
Let's get back to the dreadful whale. There we go. Look at that. Assault. It's actually a decent... It's actually a bit further toward lethal than I imagined it would be. 4 hostiles killed. Total killed 4. I don't remember the 4 hostiles I killed, but I'm sure it happened. Bodies detected. Detections 45. Alarms roam. Yeah, we're good with that. What else did we do? Ooh, every rune. All the outsider shrines. I think we intentionally left behind that bone charm because it was too far out of the way. Oh my god, I missed 2 blueprints in here. Dang, that sucks. Flawless extraction. Retrieved Anton Sokolov without alerting or destroying the clockwork soldier in the assessment chamber. That's... Oh yeah, that is true. I killed the clockwork later. Looted Aventa station. Robbed the ticket booth at the Aventa station. At the Aventa carriage station. Neat. Go me. Missing blueprints. Not the best thing. Uh-oh, my stuff isn't there. Wait, this isn't the void. Where is my... Goodbye, Karnaka, a musician's farewell. Where is my journal? Alright, this is actually kind of neat. I didn't notice this, but there is the syringe that we used to free Hypatia from her ailment. There is the head of one of the clockwork soldiers. Probably ripped that off myself, honestly. A helmet. I'm not sure if that's from Dunwall or if it's from here. Zirconin guitar. Do you play, Corvo? You must play. What's going on the ship today, huh? What? Okay, I'm in the void. I was wondering where my journal was, but I'm in
void again. But it feels different.
It's overrun by Delilah's like plant magic.
Surprised I can pull you into this place? The outsider marked me long ago. I made you flee your precious tower and turned Emily into cold stone. How difficult for you. But when I was young, sweet Jessamine and I were close as sisters, sharing a secret. Emperor Coldwin had another daughter, born in shame to a kitchen maid.
What's she playing at? Maybe how is the question.
You actually are Jessamine's sister. Did Jessamine never know? Is that why you were best friends growing up? You had a familial bond that no one ever told you about. How did you figure it out? Did you know the whole time?
I told you. We're over. I'll assist you.
You said that last year. Jessamine's younger than you, and she
success someday.
What did I do? I'll be good. I swear.
Next year, I promise.
No wonder you're doing all of this. You're trying to rectify some childhood trauma, some wound. You never got over the fact that you were the, I don't want to say illegitimate child, but I guess that's kind of what it is, huh? It just sounds so bad. And then you were held back. You wanted to do all the things Jessamine did. She was being groomed to become Empress. You were just a painter.
During the day, Jessamine and I played games in the tower. But at night, I'd go back to the servants' quarters to cockroaches and thin gruel. Emperor Daddy would visit and tell me if I was good. Next year, I'd be old enough to come to court to be a princess. Then one day, pretty Jessamine broke something worth a fortune, and the spy master caught us. She claimed I did it, and he whipped me in the garden house until I bled.
Wow.
My mother lost her kitchen job, and that night we were out on the streets with no place to sleep. I didn't break it.
Would you like to tell me who did?
We were just playing.
Young Lady Jessamine. What's your name?
It was her! Delilah's light. She broke it.
Ooh. I still have agility in here. But that's it.
Mother and I saw the nastiest parts of Dunwall, ending up in debtor's prison. Jessamine died quick on an assassin's blade, but my mother lingered for weeks after a fat guard broke her jaw. They threw me out when she died. I looked up at the lights of Dunwall Tower and swore revenge. Washing bedsheets in a brothel, I painted on the side, until Anton Sokolov took me as a student. That's the polite word for it. I was crafty even before the outsider marked me, and survived the worst the Empire could offer. Now it's your turn. My mother's sick. She needs help.
Your mother kicked off while you were out begging. She's another bag of bones now, girl.
What? No!
The sentence is served and you'll be tossed out with the others. You can't stay here anymore.
How much of this is true, and how much is Delilah's warped imagination?
I may not have said it, but or did I say that just a second ago? I may not have said it, but I had the same thought, Corvo. How much of this is actually true? It's all coming from her own account of this, after all. Also, this is actually sort of terrifying. She, So Dowd trapped her in the void, presumably forever, and she gets out. That's the first red flag. You could dismiss that as luck, and maybe a bit of crafty thinking, maybe a well-worded conversation for her side with the outsider, right? Maybe she had a conversation with the outsider, she used her silver tongue to get out of it. Could have been luck, could have been manipulation, who knows? Or just craftiness. Or it could be that she's just that much more powerful now. Number 2. She removes the mark of the outsider from Corvo's hand at the start of all of this. She can undo the outsider's marks, his influence. That's a lot of power. So it's making it seem like she got out of the void originally through her own power. Number 3. She can pull Corvo into the void. And leave him only agility 2, or agility 1, whatever I have right now. She can pull Corvo into the void and have a conversation with him and let him out. She let me out. I have a feeling that if she didn't, then the outsider eventually would have, if he could find me in that part of the void. So she's got a ton of power. However, nothing says that the void that we were just in is the actual the void. It was different. It had all that plant stuff going about it. Are there multiple the voids? Or is hers just some sort of temporary facsimile? Something that she's treating as a new void, something that she can have control over. My God, there is so much going on here if you read between the lines.
15 years ago, the Loyalist conspiracy asked me to kidnap Anton Sokolov, and I did. I took him from his home to the pub we were hiding in, and locked him in a cage meant for dogs. And you know what? He laughed at us. He told dirty stories, taught Emily more than her governess could in 6 months. He seemed immortal. His mind shaped our age. That's changed. The old man I rescued doesn't talk much. He eats what we give him, groans in his sleep, coughs out blood. I'm not even sure he knows where he is.
A lot has happened to Sokolov in 15 years, especially most recently. Now we're waking up in the dreadful whale. Not sure that was a restful night.
Even in the void, if only I could do more.
Jessamine, Delilah's stronger now.
Am I to blame for Delilah's bitterness?
Of course not. She's driving all of this.
Our decisions have weight. I feel my time drawing to an end soon.
Finally, you mean? Empress. Most people die and then it's peace for them. You have had no chance for that peace. I don't want you gone, but I also don't want you around forever in this in-between state. That doesn't... A state of constant longing? No. Time to write. Oh, this is a very nice pen. The Royal Conservatory. Sokolov is safe. In the end, it wasn't me who stopped Karen Jindosh. It was his own vanity. He built a machine to destroy intellect, hoping perhaps to use it on arrival like Sokolov. Jindosh never imagined it would be used on his own mind, the greatest intellect of our day, reduced to that of a confused child. So there will be no more clockwork soldiers. That part of Duke Abel's plan is ruined. I bet that gets his attention. I'd like to include like another line under this paragraph that would say something along the lines of, I kind of wish I had left Jindosh alive to finish that clockwork army. It would have been amazing to take out like 500 of those at once. Anyway, there will be no more army of clockwork soldiers. Perhaps there will be some later for me to fight. I hope Jindosh like sent a shipment of 50 off to the Duke first, so there's at least that many ahead for me. God, I want that. Although these witches are putting up a fight too. I'm happy with that. And I've rescued Anton Sokolov. What's left of him anyway? The man has aged since last I saw him. The intellect is still there, I hope. But physically, he struggles in every way. To walk, to eat, to piss. Conditions on the boat exasperate his discomfort. Still, there's nothing to be done. For now, the dreadful whale is our only home. He struggles physically in every way. To walk, to eat, to piss. And that makes that first note that we found, or one of those first notes that we found that was correspondence between him and Foster, where he baked a cake, so much cuter. He can't even move around the boat, and he baked a cake, and then he offered it to Megan. Sokolov. Delilah, in the void. I was in the void, only this time it wasn't the outsider who met me there. It was Delilah Copperspoon. She's grown in power somehow, and wanted me to see things through her eyes. She showed me her mother, left to die in a debtor's prison, and Jessamine, her half-sister, pampered in the luxury of her palace, Dunwall Tower. Silks, fine tutors, grand feasts, while Delilah hid in the kitchen. Their shared father, Emperor Euhorn Caldwin, was with his empty promises, telling Delilah she'd be a princess too, and soon. This was the past as she wanted me to see it. I knew. I wish I knew if it were all lies. Some of it has the ring of truth. It does explain a lot. Yikes. Do I have to mouse over each of these to get the exclamation points off? Can't I just click on the exclamation points? Nope. Okay. Well, if I have to mouse over each of these to erase the exclamation points... then there's just going to be tons of exclamation points, because I'm not going to mouse over each of these all the time. Doing it right now is kind of like soothing though, so that's what I'm doing. That's kind of neat. Wow, this is fun. I can't believe I did that. Okay. I don't know why that was so joyful. It's that thing that we have in all of us that seeks to create order out of chaos. A thank you note from Megan. It's something, thank you. It's something I should say to your face, but that's hard for me. Thank you for what you did, bringing Anton back. What would I have done without him puttering around the ship, mumbling and stroking his greasy beard? She loves him. I wanted to find him on my own, but hearing what you went through, I'm impressed. Anyway, enjoy this bottle from the captain's reserve. Hey, nice. Good stuff. I got it from an aristocrat wanting quick passage out of Karnaca a while back. You'll need it now that Anton is back. If you want to sleep, his snoring cuts straight through the bulkhead. That's the good stuff, huh? Thank you, Megan. So, Megan's impressed with me. There's a picture of Sokolov. Megan is impressed with me, is she? I wonder what she thinks of me compared to certain other bearers of the Outsider's mark. She's probably had a lot of time to think about that. Hypatia,
For a man of his age, Sokolov's making better progress than I would have expected.
Good to see that you're still with us. Thank you for helping Anton.
Sokolov's not the only one making a rapid recovery. I'll be good enough to leave soon. There's a lot to do. Of course, unless the Duke falls, he'll undo my best efforts here.
I'm working on that. Believe me, the Duke has my full attention.
Karnaca's key leaders are flawed, for certain. After all this is settled with the Duke, and the time of the coup has passed, whichever ones are left standing could change things here. Consider that, as you come face to face with the Duke's remaining associates.
I'll do what I can, Alexandria.
It's good to see that you've regained your clarity of mind. What's this? A letter from Lucia Pastor. Dear Dr. Hypatia, I couldn't be happier about the news you gave me. The people here in the Dust District desperately need someone like you. I understand that you cannot see patients in Addermire anymore and that it's too dangerous to go back to your apartment. I'll arrange something. We'll find you safe passage. We'll find you a safe place to hide and give free consultations, as you suggested. I'll send word about it via the Miners Family Committee and some friends I have at the Silver Spike newspaper. Welcome back to the city, Lucia.
I wish there was something I could remember to help in your efforts.
No, you're doing fine. Continue to help Sokolov. Help whatever people you can. Ultimately,
Shindos wanted me to help him with a rather complicated problem. It would have enabled him to make his clockwork soldiers at a fraction of the cost. Clever man.
Not clever enough. What's wrong with people like that?
A restless mind and an empty heart, perhaps. Jindosh would have snuffed me out as soon as he got bored. I appreciate what Corvo did for me, freeing me from that place.
I searched for you, Anton. I would have found you.
I knew you'd try, Megan. They kept me going after they gave me to Jindosh.
Either way, you're back now. I'm glad.
Please continue to help the people of this land, Dr. Hypatia. This is, after all, although we are on Serkonos, not Gristle, this is all still Emily's empire. And the people need to be taken care of. They need to be in good spirits in order to continue to follow their leader. Emily is young. She has, if I have anything to say about it, a very bright future ahead of her as Empress. This is where it starts.
Corvo.
Ah, the Royal Protector has risen. A bad night. Maybe you've been sleeping on goose feathers too long.
Sit down when you want to talk.
I want to see how you're doing.
Anton, when I brought you back, you could barely speak. But it's been 3 days.
They tortured him. His body is covered with bruises.
Delilah has the throne, and she has Emily. Anton, once we had you in a cage and you dared us to kill you, I need that man back.
Corvo, she's right.